What's up, savages? It is a glorious day here in Atlanta, Georgia, aka Alpharetta, Georgia, and I had the first successful taco night last night in the new place. Oh man, it's fucking good. Let's begin. Friends, Savage Talk. You know the rules. We're going straight into this bitch because we got a lot and there's a lot of cool ones. So, hope everyone's here. Hope everyone's enjoying your Sunday. Football's fun. If you're doing fantasy, I hope your team loses because mine's getting trashed. Let's go. Chance Alfred. If you could swap places with anyone for a day, who would it be and what would you do? This is the easiest question. It took me 2 seconds to figure it out. Number one, the only person I would ever swap places with is Joe Rogan. And I wouldn't do it in the commentary side of things. Joe Rogan, I'm a commentator, so I know what he's doing on that side, right? But what I would do, which is something that I'm envious of, right? I would do like his full routine in a day, right? And I know it's like weird to think like, oh God, I want to do like what you do all day long because like that's fucking creepy, right? Like it's weird when you think about it. But I would like to wake up. I would like to maybe do a little jiu-jitsu, right? Roll for a little bit, then go into the studio, his studio, do a podcast with someone who's like fucking super interesting, like John Graham. He's the fucking man with the ancient civilizations. I love that guy. He's absolutely brilliant. I would love to sit down with him for like 3 hours. Then from there, go away from the studio, go back, check on my family, say, hey, how's it going? What's up? And then go and do a live stand-up comedy show. I think that would be like my fucking ideal day, right? Because one, stand-up comedy is fucking awesome, right? And plus, Joe Rogan's the fucking man. So to go from like a podcast, which I could theoretically start a podcast, but I just don't know what I would do with it. If you guys have any ideas, just go ahead and throw it at me. But that's where I'm sitting on this. So Joe Rogan for a day, I would go from a podcast to the stand-up and then come home. And then if I'm Joe Rogan, I obviously am going to smoke pot and do a psychedelic. Moving forward. If an ambulance is on its way to save someone and it runs someone over, does it stop to help them? Ooh. Yes, it has to, right? So it's a priority thing, okay? If I'm driving an ambulance, I'm fucking new on the job, I'm sitting there, and I fucking hit someone, right? I slam on the brakes, bam, he's fucking dead, right? I have to be the first responder because you can't flee from an accident. So what would have to happen is you would have to get out, pray to God you didn't kill that person, right? Resuscitate him, at least check his vitals, and then you would have to call that in. But on top of that, you would then have to call someone else to then fill in for you, right? Because it's not like there's one ambulance per fire department unless you live in like a small town. And if it happens in a small town, then you are just completely fucked, right? Because it's like, all right, here's the one ambulance. Oh, I hit Miss Mary Lou, who's the town's slut, and now she's dead. But I really need to go save Herbie Hancock, who's dying from a heart attack, right? Well, that's your shit out of luck. If it's a small town, you're fucked. If it's a city, you're probably okay. But yes, if you hit someone, you would then have to, and you were driving an ambulance, you would then have to cater to the person you hit. That's science. Next one. Who supported you the most when starting to do this? This is a tough one, right? Because it depends on what you're talking about. If you're saying starting to do this as in what I'm doing currently, probably the exact same people. I would say throughout everything, and my mother was a humongous supporter. She always said, like, just do you and you'll figure it out, right? And she was like, you're good at many things. Like a cliche mother would say, right? She's like, oh yeah, you're really good at many things, Scott. And like, for some people, you never know if like you actually suck at something, right? You just you're like, yeah, my mommy thinks I can do this. I'm the best, right? But, she always supported me. My brother's kind of like me in like the sense that he's like delusionally confident in everything, right? Like he thinks he's going to be the next Dr. House. And I'm like, Ricky, Dr. House doesn't exist, but I love the fucking enthusiasm, bro. And he knows it. So I would say probably my immediate family. Yeah. My mom, my brother. My dad's more like a recluse, like in a weird way. Like he goes to work, comes home, goes into the shop, which is like his little workshop. He has like 3 buildings, right? He has like a car garage, another building, a barn that he built. Get some light here. Yeah, look at that. I got light. It's a little lamp. You want to see my lamp? I bought it. Here's my lamp. All right, anyways. Yeah, my immediate family, definitely. My brother and my mom, hands down, no questions asked. They supported me the most, which I think it's good. I think if you don't have immediate family, you're fucked. Moving forward. Ah, wrong button. Look at that. Hey guys, I set up this scene for you. It's a black screen. Sorry. Do you prefer having a beard or being clean shaved? Beard, motherfucker. This shit. By the way, I'm gonna let you guys in on something, right? So I made a deal with Reagan. I'm gonna say it. She's in the other room. There was like a weird like robot cock moment. I made a deal with Reagan that I would shave my beard for the wedding, and that I wouldn't have to shave it from this point on ever again. And by ever again, I mean until February. So like this is gonna get wild. And the hair, I don't know if you notice this. See these little fucking curls, right? This is getting grown out too. So it's like I'm gonna be a full blown caveman in this bitch. It's gonna be awesome. Next one. If you could have one power, what would it be? This is so tough, right? This is the toughest question in the world. But when I think about it, there's two things, right? You could have super speed. Super speed would be badass, right? Because if you had super speed, you could get anywhere, any single time, no questions asked, right? But if you would have to do super speed with flying, right? Because people are like, flying, right? But if you have the ability to fly and you fly like a fucking pussy, you're not going to get anywhere anytime fast, okay? So flying doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get somewhere fast. It just means you can fly. So you would have to do super speed with the ability to fly, merged into one, right? But what I would want two things. I would want an eidetic memory, so I could remember everything on the first time I see it, read it, hear it, anything. I would love to have that coupled with the ability to only need like an hour of sleep a night, right? And I would be the smartest man in the world. I would just read. And so like as long as I could never break focus and I could just look at something and retain all the information, that's what I would want. I think that would be the best power ever because you'd be super fucking smart. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted, right? I could cast every single video game. Right? I just need my personality, and as long as I know the knowledge, fuck it. I could do every single game. Every game. Imagine the fucking videos. Just imagine it. Whew. Have you ever shit the bed in a tournament or a serious match? Alright, Zachary. This is a fun story for you. Now, there was also another question that I saw, and it was, I forget who it was, and I apologize for it to you, but it was like, if you could change one play in like the history of your competitive gaming, what would it be? So this was it, okay? It was 2008. It was Toronto, all right? It was me, Defy, Best Man, and Nated. Now, Saturday night, I was in like the worst setting dilemma of my life, right? We lost to Straight Rippin' in Game 5. We're the only team who actually pushed them to the distance. And then the next day, I was a different person, right? I was on Concerta at the time, and then I took Adderall, okay? Like I took a 30 milligram Adderall from someone. And it was Sunday. And 2008 was like the first year that I really started trying it because I was prescribed it in 2008. But I was prescribed Concerta, the first part, and then I switched to Adderall. So it was, I took a 30XR, which is like a 30 extended release. Fucking fucked my head up completely. And so I woke up that Sunday morning early. I was having like 2 hours of sleep. I took the 30 milligrams, and I fucking switched from default 4 cents vibration to bumper jumper 3 cents. No vibe, like complete different thing. And so we go to like Game 5 where it's like Eli the Ninja and Gunshot and like just a bunch of fucking people I used to spit on, right? And I fucking shit the bed. I'm talking, I was like 5-18, Game 5, TS Guardian. And I just completely sucked. I was like the worst zoned out tunnel vision of all time, and this is why. So obviously I was on Adderall, which helps being zoned out, right? So I'm sitting there on back snipe, right? So I'm sitting back snipe and I'm watching top blue with the sniper. And there's a nade where you can throw a plasma grenade top blue and you can hit someone and it blows up and it does a lot of fucking damage, right? Well, I go to switch grenades, thinking I was on default, and I jump. I jump in the air, and then, not realizing that I jumped, I fall off the ledge. So I lose sniper. I lose everything. They push over. They take over snipe control. I spawn bottom green. I push. I die again and again and again. And then before you know it, I was 5-18, and they won game 5, and we got top 12. So we gave the number 1 team the best run in the game, and then I shit the bed in game 5. Sometimes in life, you just get fucked. That's it. All right, Joe Stoia. All right. When you go back to the competitive, are you going to trash talk like you used to, or are you going to be an old, mature man? Bro. I say the word fucking savage. Think I'm going to be mature? I don't give a fuck about being mature. I'm a child. I'm a fucking child. Everyone is my enemy when I step foot on that stage. I don't care who you are. Obviously, I'll have respect for people, right? Like, the main difference will be I will go from having no respect for everyone to having respect for people, but still talking trash. Like, I won't hate them when, like, I leave the stage, whereas back then I hated everyone when I left the stage. So, it's still going to happen. But if they put me in, like, a soundproof booth, I'm going to fucking... When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grow up? Beauty clutch? It's actually a pretty funny story because I don't know. I have had this problem since I was like, 10, 11, 12, right? Because like as soon as you get into like middle school, people start like asking, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? What are you going to go to school for? What interests you, right? And I used to say there was a bunch of shit. Like I had a wide spectrum of things that I always wanted to be. Like I always thought being a professor would be cool. Something with history would be awesome. Robert Langdon, right? Like symbology or symbolism, whatever the fuck it's called. I thought that was awesome. I could have done that. Obviously, everyone wanted to be an astronaut when they were a kid. That's like a no-brainer. But a fireman, military, special forces, I had a wide range of everything. And then carrying forward, like that was kind of like the thing that stuck with me throughout the entire time was like I was really good at a bunch of different things and I had an interest in a bunch of shit and I didn't know what I wanted to be. So that stayed with me, and then I just started chasing my dream because that's like the easiest thing to do. When you have no idea what you want to do, it's the best thing to do I've found so far is to just try to chase your dream because at least you're having fun doing it. Next one. Not where's the button. There it is. What's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor? Ooh. Oh, shit. What is my favorite Pop-Tart? I would say strawberry. But, hold on. Oh, s'mores. S'mores. It's not only delicious, but it also gives you a little bit of a sugar rush. Whew. But really, savage talk. Okay, I have no idea what you said before this, your boy Mark, but I'll take it. Now that your career in casting is over, what do you plan on doing now for your future? One, my career for casting is just starting. Okay, this is actually a career. So here's like the big difference, right? I'm esports administrator at Hi-Rez Studios. Okay, everyone's here. Everyone's on the same page. I still cast this game. So technically, my career now is casting. Before, it was more of like a hobby. No one who's a freelance commentator can justify casting as an actual profession unless you get in with developers. Like Golden Boy could actually classify his as a career as a caster because he was actually making money. Everyone else, last year I didn't make shit. Like, you don't do it because you're making money out of it unless you're hired to do so. It's all the extra things outside of casting that makes it a career. But now my career is to just continue to grow and grow and grow, both as a person and as a commentator. Obviously, Smite casting is going to be my only game I'm going to be casting for a while, and I'm going to be the fucking best at it. I've had 17 days with the game, 10 of which I've had internet for. 12 of which I've had internet for. And I'm going to continue to get better and better and better because that's what I do. Now, for the rest, I'm going to aim to be the best Master Chief Collection player, period, moving forward. And then I'm going to continue to do YouTube. That is my plan. I'm never fucking stopping any of it because that's what I got to do. It's not because it's what I got to do. It's what I want to do. And that's the whole sync up for me. Next one. Jake Carnsey. Why did you take the job at Smite? A lot of personal growth, man. When you get into really the whole studio side of things or the developer side of things, it's really hard to get out of it. I love the life. I'm glad I took the decision. The main reason I did it was I was like, okay, I actually have stability. I have money. I can justify chasing video games now as a path because I want it. But the main thing is like, the people who I work with are really fucking awesome. Like everyone I met leading up to being hired, I liked. So I was like, they're a good bunch of dudes. They seem to have their head on right. The game's been out since March, even though there was beta for 2 years. Doesn't matter. I like everything I've seen. I'm going to continue to do it. So that was really it. I liked everyone I talked to, and they were like, okay, well, let's bring you on board. And I was like, fuck yeah. The only thing I don't like is the fact that I have to wear a button up when I cast. Really want to wear a fucking t-shirt. But if that's my biggest problem, fuck it. Thoughts on Destiny and with your new job, will you still be going hard for MCC, you fucking savage? 1, love you, Kirby Dirth. Kirby Dirth. Is that Chuck Dirth? Yeah, Kirby. Okay, yeah, I love you. Okay, number 1. I think you're awesome for saying you fucking savage. That really made my day. Thoughts on Destiny. I think I haven't played it, so I haven't been able to decide anything from what I've gathered from maybe screaming and actually playing. Looks great for raids and just really just blowing time and finding you have to do certain quests to find certain fucking things. I think that's cool. PvP wise, seems like a fucking nightmare. The fact that you can blink out and you can basically teleport out of any fight is an absolute joke. Shotguns are fucking broken and everyone turns into a douchebag as soon as you give them a shotgun. So I don't think it's a competitive game. I think it's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a casual experience where you have fun doing raids and people make money on the YouTube side of things because of that. Period. Done. Now, will I be going hard in Master Chief Collection? Come on, son. You know it, girl. By then, I'm going to have my hand all the way up Smite's ass, and I'm going to just be working its mouth like a puppet, and then I'm going to fucking shove my other hand up Halo's ass. I'm going to work their mouth like a fucking puppet. I'm going to take over everything. I'm going to fucking be the king of this fucking world. Imagine. Why don't devs host a conference? This is the best question in the world, by the way. All right, Tug 15. There's a bunch, okay? Number 1, all right? I have now seen it from the developer side of things and the pro player side of things, and I think both are really very interesting. So obviously a professional's insight is huge, all right, but there's something that you need to do at all times. So one of the things they do at Hi-Rez Studios is, obviously, there's gods, okay? So the first thing that happens is they poll the casual audience, and they're like, okay, what god do you think needs to be buffed or nerfed? And then they poll the competitive players, right? And they actually sync them up perfectly. So right now, just for example, Mercury is fucking, overpowered as shit. The casuals have voted 34% of everyone polled, Mercury needs to be nerfed. And the pros is the exact same number. So now that justifies the fact that there's going to be a nerf, okay? Now, in regards to features and everything like that, I think, developers have a good idea as to what needs to be done. And at this point, the only thing that's polled here is really oh, you want a spectator mode, okay? Obviously, duh, right? You don't need a bunch of crazy shit. You want ranks, okay? Do you want seasons? Do you not want seasons? I think that comes down to what the developer wants to do and how they want to schedule things. Obviously, if I was working at 343, I would say, okay, every season we're going to reset ranks, and then every season we're going to release a DLC and have you have a little week where you get used to it and then launch the game, right? So I would be pushing DLC down people's fucking throats, so my game, because I'm a AAA studio, would be making more money. And then on top of that, I would be giving the people new shit to play and then weave out everything or just go back to the old settings. That's what I would do. But for some things you have to realize professionals don't get. Right? There's very few people who understand that you need a casual audience in order to have an esport. So, that's where it kind of gets iffy. But I think polling the players is an amazing thing. Bringing them all in, not so amazing. I know you're a hockey guy, but any opinions on all these cases of domestic violence? People fucking suck ass. And I think it's gross. Obviously, the double standard that everyone talks about is weird when it's a girl's hit me, and all of a sudden she gets hit, right? Kevin Hart did a great stand-up on that. I watched it last night. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But you never lay a fucking hand on a girl. You just can't fucking do it. That's just fucking stupid. And if you do it, you're fucking scum. That's what I think. I think there's people. I think the main thing is there's a lot of steroids going on in the NFL, and people are finally starting to maybe figure that out because I don't know, body wise, the fact that there's multiple people at 270 who can run a 4.5 doesn't really make a lot of sense. That's me again. Last question. If you had to choose between a guaranteed $1 million or a 50-50 chance at $100 million, what would you choose? Holy fuck my ass with a pole. Oh man. Like $100 million, you are set for life. But you don't have that guaranteed safe. You don't have that safe system. Right now in my life, I would take the $1 million. Hands down, no questions asked, right? Later, I think I would take the 50-50. But $1 million right now would basically solve everything, right? I would get a house. I would hang out, get some furniture, live luxuriously, because that's what I would do. Now, other than that, that's going to do it for us. As always, I love you, but I don't love you. Take it easy. I'm hungry.